Welcome to the third and final round of the 8th XCAT World Championship season, the world's fastest powerboat racing series presented by the UIM, the Union Internationale Motonautique, here at the magnificent Sunset Beach in Dubai. Welcome to the 2019 XCAT World Championship Dubai Grand Prix. My name is Paul Marinelli, and joining me in commentary throughout this third and final round of the 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship is the championship's media officer, Emanuele Ferrari Sticelle. Emanuele, welcome.
Hello, Paul. Welcome to you. Welcome to everybody. It's good to be back to Dubai, this beautiful location, Sunset Beach, and it's good to finally see some action.
It sure is indeed, and haven't we seen some action already this weekend with some of the rough conditions here, very windy conditions throughout yesterday's practice sessions, but it was Consul Brokers who set the fastest time in yesterday's first practice session, 3:13.871, and that's Andrea Camello and Joachim Kumlin, and the Victory team on their return to XCAT Racing, which we'll talk about further, 3 minutes 23.924 in second, and third quickest Abu Dhabi 4, followed by HPI Racing and Abu Dhabi 5. In practice 2, it was Victory team that went straight to the top. 3 minutes 13.331, found a lot of time ahead of Dimitri. 3 minutes 14.679. New Star and HPI Racing, the only 4 XCATs to take part because it was considerably rough and very, very exciting. And you can see on our screens right now, for those of you watching our web screens live around the world, our web stream, welcome to all of you, the Victory team and their welcome return to the XCAT series after a two-year absence. It's Salem Al-Adidi and Isa Al-Ali, the uncle and nephew driving team.
Yeah, it's one of the big news of the weekend. It's really beautiful to see them back. 2017 world champions. Actually, here in Dubai, we had the last race and they won the championship. Then after almost 2 years of absence, they are back and immediately they scored the best time yesterday in rough conditions. Now we will see what they will do in a proper race. They will have a wild card for this weekend, so they won't be eligible for any points, but still they will fight because they love racing.
They sure will. So they will get a result, but they will not count in points for either the pole position championship or the overall championship. As we look at Abu Dhabi 4, the defending XCAT world champions on screen right now, they're still in the hunt. We have 4 teams fighting for the title. It's a 4-way fight here in Dubai at this final round. It's home team Dubai Police, Australia's Maritimo, and defending XCAT champions Abu Dhabi 4 and their stablemates Abu Dhabi 5.
It's going to be a great challenge because, as we said, as you said, 4 teams eligible for the victory in the championship. While we see the first images of the boats in the water, it's not as rough as yesterday, unfortunately, I must say. But still, we've seen some air already from Abu Dhabi 4, and there will be big jumps anyway. Faster than yesterday, but still with some jumps.
So let's take a look at that championship situation heading into this final round, Emanuele. Dubai Police leads with 143 points. They are 6 points ahead of Maritimo from Australia, and this is the debut season for this brand new Australian-designed and manufactured boat, piloted by Tom Barry-Cotter and Ross Willerton. Abu Dhabi 4 is in third place in the championship on 136 points, 1 point behind Maritimo. This is how close the world title is. Abu Dhabi 5 is fourth in the championship, 113 points. They're 23 points behind third. From there, it's 222 offshore and the HPI Racing team rounding off the top 6, but they're the top 4. Dubai Police, Maritimo, Abu Dhabi 4, Abu Dhabi 5 fighting for the title this weekend, and right on cue, Abu Dhabi 5 on screen now. Rashid Al-Taya and Majed Al-Mazuri.
Meanwhile, Paul, we have the first timed laps of this pole position session. First 75 minutes, all the boats can get in the water and have as many laps as they want. Maritimo scored the fastest time of the weekend so far, 2 minutes 30.932. Just to remind you, yesterday with rough sea, the fastest was 3:13, so it's 43 seconds faster today because of the sea conditions, of course. And Maritimo at the moment is first, followed by 222 offshore, 234, so almost 4 seconds dividing them. Then Abu Dhabi 4, Abu Dhabi 5, HPI Racing Team and Consul Broker. These are the first 6 boats in the water.
HPI and Consul Brokers having a great time this weekend so far. Let's see how they end up. So this is how qualifying will be today. 1 hour and 15 minutes, so quite long, in fact, for a session, the longest of the whole season. And they are allowed to make propeller changes during the 75 minutes of practice of qualifying. Then there'll be a 10-minute break, and then the top 5 will be sent out by race director's orders. They get one warm-up, one start lap, and then it's 2 timed laps The fastest of those laps will be the final round pole position holder here at the UIM XCAT Dubai Grand Prix Round 3, the final round of the XCAT World Championship.
Meanwhile, you see Videx on the screen, getting some air as well and jumping. This is Alfredo Mato with Sol Bubacco, boat number 22, going very fast. Yesterday they went out just for one lap. Alfredo was really pleased to have a rough sea because he loves that. He's been racing. He won an amazing race here in Dubai in 2015 with Joaquin Kumlin with 2 meters wave. Everything happened during that race. And so today he's a bit disappointed because there's not as many waves as he wanted.
And look, we will show you some highlights a bit later of some of the action yesterday. The air that these XCATs were taking was truly remarkable. Some of the photos and the imagery, just incredible stuff. And we love seeing the XCATs racing at over 200 kilometers an hour on the water, but you throw in a bit of chop and a few waves like yesterday, and that was incredible. Maritimo on screen now. This boat was built and designed in Queensland in Australia. Tom Barry Cotter and Ross Willerton, they're both XCAT veterans. They've been in the sport for a while now, but this is the debut season for that brand new Australian XCAT boat, and what a debut it made at Stresa in Italy back in July, taking pole position first time out. Incredible stuff. And they've since refined this boat, obviously over the next round at Shanghai, where they won 2 races as well. And that brings them so strong in the championship as we look at to get some air. It's not even very choppy out there, Emanuele, but as they pass us here at the start-finish, the front seem to lift right up.
Yeah, it means they are pushing, they are not trimming down the nose of the boat too much to stay stuck in the water, but just to get as much speed as they can. This means jumping more. Being always on the edge, controlling the boat, but in order to gain more speed, even if there are some waves.
New star we're looking at right now out of Russia. This is Dmitry Vandyshev and Mikhail Kitashev. They were 3rd quickest yesterday in the second practice session. They've really had a good 2 days here. They enjoyed the rough conditions too, and they're not going too badly at the moment. 7th quickest at the moment. 2 minutes 50.346. They've got to find about 20 seconds if they're going to match Maritimo in P1, 2 minutes 30.932, Abu Dhabi 5 and 222 offshore. Good to see them in the top 3 after the season that they've had. That since Figueira back in March in that Figueira Trophy Challenge that didn't count for the championship, they looked like they were going to have a great season. They won it. And you're thinking, here we go, and it's sort of all unraveled and gone backwards from there.
Yeah. We've seen like New Star Racing, as you said, 250. They were at a more prudent approach in the setup of the boat while passing on the screen. We saw the boat very flat on the water, not jumping like, for instance, Videx that we see now. Maybe they will have to decide and trim up the boat a little bit in order to go faster, even if it's a bit riskier.
And Videx moves up into 6th on that lap, 2 minutes 41.161. And looking at Maritimo once again, you'll notice the raised height or the higher level of the cockpit that Emanuele pointed out when this boat first appeared in Stresa in Italy. And quite an outstanding job by all the team that have put that XCAT together.
Yeah, and they're still in the lead with 230.9. This is the benchmark at the moment for the weekend. In second position, Abu Dhabi 5 moved going ahead of 222 offshore, 233 for Abu Dhabi 5.
Maritimo airborne, sorry Emanuele,
wow.
Absolutely airborne 3 times, heading onto the main straight. They're not mucking around, it's very early in this pole position session. Props in the air, the whole works, that's unbelievable. Take a look.
They are really trying to find the limits of the boat in these conditions. Yeah. While they pass on the finish line now, 2:31, so just 1 second behind, actually 0.4 of a second behind their best time, which is still 2:30.9.
Not bad at all, considering how much of that they spent in the air rather than in the water. Bouncing from sponson to sponson too, coming down on the straight, and we know it's a nice long straight here, and we'll talk about the course in a moment. But a full power sprint there as we watch the victory team now, Isa Al Ali and Salem Aladidi making their XCAT World Championship comeback. They are fighting for results, but they are not fighting for championship points, so they will not interfere in our 4-way championship fight. But great to see these guys back in action. We've missed them. And of course, the victory team now under the management and ownership of the Dubai International Marine Club. So looking forward to a big future there as they get some air as well. We know how exciting Salem and Isa can be. Gold Coast 2015 is all you have to think about. They managed to flip over twice in the one weekend. Oh, unbelievable stuff. Once during the XCAT run qualifying, and the second time during the second race, I think it was.
Yeah, if you are connected, when we are over with this commentary, go and check on Facebook, on the social media. Gold Coast 2015, Dubai crash. You will see an amazing image video of the flip over. They came out unarmed, of course, but it was amazing to see.
And twice in the one weekend, and that was my first XCAT experience. I was like, does this happen? And I was like, no, not twice in one weekend. But luckily the guys weren't hurt, and they managed to gain a lot of Australian fans as a result of that spectacular flip over, particularly the XCAT one. I think it flew inverted through the air, I think something like 50 meters before it then landed on the rear and basically broke the boat.
With a front shot from the camera, which makes it even more thrilling.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi 5 now on screen. Rashid Attaya, Majid Al Mansouri. These guys have been every bit as quick as their teammates Abu Dhabi 4 this season. Prepared two meticulous XCATs all year. And Abu Dhabi 5 finishing 4th in the second race at Stresa.
Now passing the finish line, as you mentioned about the race course, it's a long straight. This is actually the one of the finish line. It's the longest straight of the course, 0.68 nautical miles. I reckoned with my numbers. It's like more than 1 kilometer, so they can get a lot of speed in that straight.
And hence why it looks so exciting through the start finish. They're really going over 210 kilometers an hour by the time they get to us here. So this course, let's tell you all about it. So from the start finish line, which is adjacent to the XCAT paddock and pontoon, turn 1, that's Alpha and Alpha 1, is a hard left, leading into another tighter left hairpin at turn Bravo 1, that's turn 2. Then it's a flat out run to the first right turn of the super fast Sunset Beach course at the C-Boy, that's turn 3, up to the 4th turn, which is a fast left at the D-Boy, followed by a short straight and almost a right angled left turn at Boy Delta 2, which is the 4th turn of the course. Then it's another flat out run to the 5th and final left turn at Boy E before the throttles hit the carbon fibre for the long, full power sprint down the main straight to complete the 3.4 nautical mile lap.
I love this, the throttle hit the carbon fiber. It's like pedal to the metal in cars.
Pedal to the metal sounds so much better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Throttle to carbon fibre just really doesn't work. So I'm going to come up with something else, but you all know what I mean. But it is
That's WOT, wide open throttle. What?
That's it. That'll do. What?
What?
Yeah, here on Friday the 13th as well, here in Dubai. Sunset Beach, what a magnificent location. And we're here thanks to our hosts, the Dubai International Marine Club, with the support and patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the president of the Dubai International Marine Club, the Dubai Sports Council, and the UAE Marine Sports Federation. As we mentioned earlier, the last of 3 rounds that have seen the XCAT World Championship teams and drivers compete in Italy, China, and now here in the Middle East for the coveted 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship title. 222 offshore on screen now. This is the combined Italian and Australian entry, a dual nationality entry. Giovanni Capitella and Darren Nicholson, your pilot and throttle man on board this XCAT. And you'll see there's an Australian flag towards the rear of the XCAT and the Italian flag at the front. On the other side, I'll have the Australian flag on the other sponsor, and the Italian flag at the back. It's a great combination of the Italian and Australian drivers. As I've mentioned, their season hasn't gone very, very well. They've had all sorts of issues with the hull of this boat. They don't like the smoother conditions. They prefer it to be nice and rough. And in fact, in the driver briefing, it was Giovanni Capitella that put his hand up and said, can we qualify today? Because it was really windy, and that's what he was looking for and hoping for. But let's hope that Darren and Giovanni have a better weekend, because we know what they're capable of. They are world-class crew.
At the moment they are in 3rd position, 234.0, still 3 seconds and something to go for the pole.
Whoa.
Jumping a lot, pushing to the limits again. And we'll see, if the conditions stay like this also for the race, they can go faster than the average of the season, because as you said correctly, the boat and also the skills of the drivers are made for rougher sea.
And it's interesting when we notice that the frontal nose section going up, and we see that because they're going so fast by the end of the straight. It's a bit of a challenge for the throttleman, who's also adjusting the trim levels, to not let that go too high.
Absolutely. Otherwise you will get some air and you will flip. because it becomes a wall.
But to go faster, they do need it to lift a little. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then bring it down again, it will slow them down, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
So isn't it a challenge? As you've always said,
It's a really tight balance. Yeah,
two drivers, one brain.
Yeah, that's what normally the Dubai police, we've not seen yet them in the water, Arif Al-Zafei, Nadir Bedindi, but they always say we are two drivers and one brain. That's their expression, but it's valid for everybody. The better the feeling you have in the cockpit, the faster you go. Because one have to run the throttle, one the helm, and the trims and so on. Everything must be very smooth. While we see new stars slowing down, getting back probably into the pits. No, they're accelerating again, so they just slow down for a while. And we just mentioned Dubai police, they passed in front of us, so we will see very soon on the screen and we will have some lap time.
Yeah, two of the most successful offshore powerboat races in the world, Arif Al-Zafei and Nadir bin Hendi in Dubai Police Boat number 3, championship leaders by just 6 points from Maritimo. We will know after tomorrow afternoon Dubai time, who is the XCAT World Champion for 2019. Will it be Dubai Police? Will it be Maritimo? Or possibly Abu Dhabi 4 or Abu Dhabi 5. We've also got a pole position championship to think about as well, that Maritimo from Australia leads with 95 points, 10 points ahead of Abu Dhabi 5, and Dubai Police third with 74 points, 11 points behind, and just behind them, only 4 points behind is Abu Dhabi 4. So lots of points available for the pole position standings, which we're doing right now. A longer session that you may be used to for XCAT fans around the world. This is an hour and 15 minutes in total. And 54 minutes remaining in this session now. You're looking at Arif Al-Zafei and Nadir bin Hendi, the Dubai Police entry, the home entry. Lots of fans here for this duo.
Yeah, they are world champions forever in Class 1, in XCAT. They won almost all of the titles available. They clinched them, so yeah, we will see, we'll see. It's a big challenge.
So the world is really well represented across our 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship teams and drivers. We have 4 home teams from the United Arab Emirates, 4 teams from Italy, and they're also joined by teams from Russia, Australia, Kuwait, and that makes up the world of our field. Now sadly, we should talk about who will not be competing, and XCAT Racing, Boat 2, Sebastian Groth and Eric Stark sadly are not competing due to the damage inflicted on their XCAT at the Shanghai round. They did try to fix it. The boat is here. The crew are here. They're actually still working on it now, but sadly it won't get into the water for this final round. So they leave the championship in 9th position with 44 points. A pole position ranking of 7th, which will obviously change after today. And yeah, of course, a flip over that happened in Shanghai that was very dramatic. That and involved one of the Abu Dhabi entries.
Yeah, it was Abu Dhabi 4, the boat. Yeah, we've seen them, as you said, the XCAT team working on the boat. Like some minutes ago, they were in the paddocks still working. It's not only an issue with the engines, also because the race was in fresh water, so the engines were not that damaged, but it's damage to the structure. Of course, we have engineers checking everything, and it needs to be fixed properly for safety reasons. So the work is too long on the bulwarks inside the bilges, inside the sponsons, and they're not able to get in the water.
Dubai Police's first quick lap, 4th fastest, 2:34.451, trailing Maritimo's 2:30.932. Abu Dhabi 5, second quickest, 2:33.456. 222 offshore, third, 2:34.010. And that's the field ahead of Dubai Police. Behind them, 5th, Abu Dhabi 4, 2:34.813. So not much of a gap there between that top 5, the top 5 drivers. HBI Racing Team around about 5 seconds behind, 2:39.444. For the Department of Youth, I call these guys, our 2 young Italians, Rosario Scano di Colla and Giuseppe Scano di Colla, the 2 brothers, and with their father as the manager, Antonio Scano di Colla. They put together a great team, and they've shown some fantastic speed yesterday and during the season as well. So let's see what they can do here. They're both pretty confident, and they're one of our youngest driving duos out there. We look at Kuwait as well, go blasting past us as well. That's Abulatif Al-Omani and Mustafa Al-Dashti in boat 17.
They had a great weekend in Shanghai, Kuwait boat. They scored a lot of points. We had 3 races in Shanghai actually in 3 days, so many chances to score points, and Kuwait did very well. Meanwhile, Paul, I was looking at the top 5, as you just said, are like in less than 4 seconds, 2:30.9, 2:34.8 is the gap between the top 5. The top 5 boats of this 1 hour and 15 minutes will go into Q2 to fight for the pole position, actually. So we will see. All the others have to go much faster than this because at the moment it's 5 seconds gap between number 6 and number 5. If they want to get into Q2, they need to find much more speed.
Yeah, and given they've got just over 50 minutes to go and they can make propeller changes, so we could see a mix-up, but that is the bubble, isn't it? 5th. You've got to get in that top 5 to be a part of the pole position shootout and to get the best gates starting position out of the 3 gates heading into our race this afternoon, which takes place at 3 p.m. local time. That's GMT +4 Dubai, okay? 4 hours ahead of GMT. We look at Abu Dhabi 5, I think Abu Dhabi 4 getting some air too towards the back section of the course. And Dubai police do not improve on this next faster lap right now, as they just passed us then. Now, also another team not competing, sadly, is the Blue Roo. Team Australia, boat number 8 of Paul Virik-Nielsen and Jan Trivebra, JT as he's well known. Sadly, Paul is still recovering, but he is doing well.
I talked to him. Hi, Paul, by all of us. Of course, he's recovering. He's feeling good. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it. We're waiting for the team, of course, to be back in 2020. Also because they had a great season in 2018. They started well this year. So we want to see them back fighting in the race course.
And they were showing great form. They qualified second in the opening round at Stresa. They didn't start the second round, unfortunately, but their pole position ranking was 8th at that point. And they were 7th in the championship, so after finishing 4th the season before, as you mentioned. So big hello to everyone from the Blue Roo team and all the Norwegians involved in that team, but sad that you're not here. But Paul, all the very best. We want you back next season. Faster
Definitely.
and better than ever, especially with JT as well, because we know how electric that driving combination is. So that leads to the point that we have 12 teams here in Dubai. They are Dubai Police, Abu Dhabi 4, Abu Dhabi 5, New Star Racing, 222 Offshore, Maritimo, Kuwait, Dimitri, Videx, the Victory Team, Consul Brokers, and HPI Racing Team. That is our entire field for the 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship Dubai Grand Prix.
And at the moment, one of the 2 teams that didn't have the time yet is Kuwait. They passed the line 2:58, so they just, it was like a warm-up lap. The only team at the moment who didn't go in the water is Dimitri, boat number 20. We will see them soon because yesterday they went in the water. They were even faster. So we're waiting also for them to see how they can do. Dimitri with Roberto Lopiano and Maurizio Carando. Flashy green boat. You will see them. This is the milling area with Sol Bubacco on the foredeck and boat number 22 exactly. Alfredo Amato going back to check something in the engines. They have the tow line. It's a failure. It's not the milling area, pardon me, because that's a tow line. Yeah,
they're being rescued, towed back in. It's not a good thing, something to do with the engines, no doubt, but Alfredo Amato and Sol Bubacco partnering him. Very, very experienced combination of drivers, these two. Both amongst their own team and other teams for Sol Bubacco as well over the years.
You just consider, as you said, experienced driver Sol. He is the younger of the 2. He's in his early 40s. I was speaking with him. Oh, pardon me.
Is the engine gone?
Yeah, either it's flipped down in the water and we don't see it, or they completely lost it. Wow.
And this happened to Kuwait at Stresa.
Yeah.
The Kuwait boat lost an engine as well.
I hope the engine is just down in the, stuck to the mount and only underwater, because if they lost it's so bad.
And interesting, nowhere near as rough as yesterday. And this has happened, but we've seen the pounding they're getting at the end of the main straight. So it's one of those things. Well, let's hope it is still attached. You can see something cabling down towards the bottom. So, gee. You don't see that all too often.
No, what a pity.
Yeah, let's hope they can sort that out ahead of our race today. Coming away at 3 o'clock. Start lap, 14 race laps, 2 long laps, 17 lap total. 57.8 nautical mile course. At 3 o'clock Dubai time, that's GMT +4. So we hope to have you back on our live streaming for that second last race of the 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship.
So we will keep you posted. You know what, Paul? I can try on the radio to hear some news about the 22 boat, the engine, and so on.
Thank you, Emanuele. So I mentioned earlier that we're here at Sunset Beach for the first time. Of course, the XCATs have raced at Dubai over many years, and more than a decade since offshore, high-powered offshore catamaran, extreme catamaran racing was first introduced here in this part of the world. So it's very fitting that we're back here in Dubai. But Sunset Beach for the first time, amazing setup. And if you're watching the stream and you are in Dubai or in the area, please make your way down and have some fun. We're right on the beach, stacks of entertainment. It is a beautiful location. The weather is absolutely perfect, just touching 24 degrees Celsius. Very low breeze today. It's been very breezy in the days leading up to this, but very low breeze today, just perfect weather here in Dubai. But you can still see how much air the XCATs are getting when they're traveling flat out through this course here that we have. Oh, HBI Racing gets an air as well. Towards the finish line there, 239.44. So improving a bit, they're still in 6th, so the order still is Maritimo, Abu Dhabi 5. The gap there is about 0.5 of a second between Maritimo and Abu Dhabi 5. 222 offshore, third quickest, 234.0. So about just a second and 1.4 seconds away from second. Dubai Police third, 234.451. Then it's Abu Dhabi 4, 5th, 234.813. The HBI Racing Team, 239.44 in 6th. Victory Team in 7th, 239.969. They're back on the course at the moment, so expect them to go quick. Abu Dhabi 4 is out there as well. There's New Star Racing, 8th at the moment, 240.497, continuing to improve. Videx in 9th, 241.161. In 10th, Kuwait, 241.851. And 11th, Consul Brokers, 242.087. Now we know that Videx is in trouble, but we've seen Consul Brokers set some great speed so far in the last couple of days here, leading the practice session on Thursday. And let's see what can happen here. We're looking at Kuwait now on screen now. 241.851 is their best lap time. That currently places them 10th. And they're trailing behind Dimitri now. That's interesting stuff in the wake of Dimitri. Look at Kuwait, look at the speed that Kuwait's coming up on Dimitri as they pass the buoy. This is the kind of thing we can look forward to later, and Victory in front of them as well.
Yeah, you don't see so frequently a busy situation during pole position. Well, that's good.
Yeah, well, it gives us a little taste of what we can look forward to this afternoon. Oh, a Victory Team really get a lot of air, always on that blast down the main straight.
On the finish line, Victory 248, so yeah, it's not a good time for them. Kuwait still 241, and Dimitri, it's still 12th. Yeah, but it was a warm-up lap for them. Yeah. Warm-up lap.
Yeah, well, it did get very busy. Now, did Kuwait improve? 241.851. No, still in 10th. But watching Kuwait's speed, this is looking really, really good for them. Let's hope they're in for a big round. Abulatif Al-Omani and Mustafa Al-Dashti, very experienced, being XCAT competitors for as long as the UIM XCAT World Championship has existed. They really do deserve a big result because they put in a massive effort.
Yeah.
Always with a fantastically prepared XCAT, but plenty of bad luck this season.
Meanwhile, I was listening to the radio, as we said, and unfortunately the engine was lost at sea. It's detached from the mount. I heard the communication on the radio. What they've done, they placed a small yellow buoy in the position where it crashed. So what they're trying to do later on, after the racing sessions, they'll try to actually get the engine from the sea bottom. It happened before. It happened in China 2 years ago. Boat number 22 lost an engine, and we found them some days later, but we found them.
Dear me. So hopefully a spare engine can be fitted.
Yeah, we hope
for them
so.
to get back out and compete. And we know that there's a big spirit of camaraderie between the XCAT World Championship teams, so I'm sure that someone will come to their help. So Victory Team on screen now. Beautiful new signage on this, nice and large. Actually makes the XCAT look a little smaller, but it's not. It's exactly the same size as the other Victory Team boats. In fact, the whole field, except for Maritimo and HBI Racing Team, are all in Victory Team built, constructed XCATs. HBI Racing Team is the only Doug Wright constructed XCAT in the field, and Maritimo, an Australian design, debuted this season out of Queensland, and the crew there at Maritimo, who make luxury long-range yachts in Australia. It's their first attempt. Well, sorry, I should say second, because they build them in Australia for the Australian Superboat Championship, their own boat. But it's their first attempt at an XCAT design and build, and it's been truly sensational so far, leading the pole position standings and second in the championship.
The only difference with this Victory boat, you could tell from the image we just saw Kuwait behind them, is the same Victory built, but this is the number 33. It's a brand new one. So yesterday night, unfortunately, we were not together, but I had the chance to talk for a minute with the drivers. Being this brand new, the cockpit is a little taller. You can see from the image, comparing the two, how the cockpit of Kuwait is lower. Because it's a brand new boat, they just built it for the rule of the clearance. All the other boats are compliant to the rule, of course, but they had to lower the seats. They decided to go for a higher cockpit, so they will have the clearance above their heads, their helmets, to the lid, but still the room for shock absorber seats. I'm not sure if they mounted yet, but they have the chance to mount shock absorbers if they want.
And Maritimo design followed the same principle, didn't it?
Exactly, you're right.
Yeah.
It's nice to understand also these technical details. So whenever we have the chance, we always try to talk to the drivers, to the builders, to the engineers, because it's the behind the scenes that makes it even more interesting.
And the things that need to be done, so much engineering work that needs to be done, and you don't know till the build is done whether or not it's going to work. And so, good on the Victory team. They've got a big history in building super fast racing boats, and let's see what happens with this brand new one, and a great way to try it out ahead of next season for the Victory team. Looking forward to seeing Salem Maladidi, Nizar Ali back in action with us next season. Some exciting news to come about the XCAT World Championship next season.
Yeah,
we can't say a lot. Emanuele knows all about it. He
won't no, I don't.
He won't even tell me. Seriously.
I wish I knew everything. Yeah. But still, no, as you said, exciting news to have them back, to have the IMC organizing this particular event in Dubai. But now the IMC runs Victory, the team. So I'm sure that considering the effort they put together with UIM as a promoter for this event, they will do even better for next year. And believe me, this event, the location, the layout, everything, it's media friendly. There's a lot of public, a lot of interest. It's a formula that is working very well for this weekend, and it will work even better for the future, for the immediate future.
Abu Dhabi 5 into second, 2:32.781. It's 2 seconds, just over 2.5 seconds behind Maritimo's best, which remains at 2:30.932. So it's Maritimo, Abu Dhabi 5 and Abu Dhabi 4, they're stable mates. 2:32.920, there is less than 0.2 of a second between the two Abu Dhabi entries, which we should point out are fighting for the title. 222 offshore in fourth, 2:34.010. Good times for them, hopefully, this week, because they're doing a great job out there in the top 5. Dubai Police in fifth and sitting on the bubble there of being excluded from the top 5, 2:34.451. It is comfortable, though, I should say. It's 3 seconds before HPI Racing Team. So Giovanni and Rosario have to find some more speed to try and break in.
Yeah, they improved 2 seconds, but they're still in 6th. Yeah, still
Victory team in 7th, New Star Racing in 8th. Then it's Videx, Kuwait, Consul Brokers, and Dimitri rounding off the field. 37 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
Well, you've seen just on the right of the screen, you see just the wake. Yeah, there it is, the Videx boat towed by one of the rescue boats while Victory passes by. And you see the two drivers sitting on top of the cockpit.
And here they come right next to us, -1 engine. It's very obvious up this close. And a point we should make, look at the fans, you can see it on our screens. The visitors here are literally 30 feet away from the XCATs as they power past us at over 200 kilometers an hour.
It's amazing, the noise that you hear, and the waves of the boats
crash
produce here is small waves, but they were crashing like almost into us. Yeah, we are just behind the scene, and it's right there. You feel you're touching the boats when they pass by.
It has to be the best spot I've ever seen for watching an XCAT race, because you are just that close to the action, and it's truly remarkable.
Yeah.
But you were right, there was water crashing, and I remember looking from commentary thinking, that water's going to get in here. Like, that's how close we are to it. But extraordinary location, and thank you to the Dubai International Marine Club for making Sunset Beach the destination for our final UIM XCAT World Championship round for the 2019 season. And just to talk about that a bit, in Italy, the Grand Prix of Italy in Stresa, beautiful Lago Maggiore back in July, from July 1921. It was Maritimo on pole ahead of 222 Offshore and Abu Dhabi 4 in third. Race 1 was won by Abu Dhabi 4, so the defending champions. Maritimo was second in that debut race for that brand new XCAT, and Dubai Police third ahead of the Blue Roo and 222 Offshore. In the second race at Steza, Abu Dhabi 4 took the win ahead of Dubai Police, the Blue Roo, Abu Dhabi 5 and Maritimo. Then over to Shanghai for the second round of the championship with 2 pole positions, Abu Dhabi 5 taking both of those ahead of Maritimo and Dubai Police for each of those qualifying sessions. In race 1 was won by Dubai Police ahead of Abu Dhabi 4 and Abu Dhabi 5, New Star Racing in an impressive 4th and Kuwait in 5th. And race 2, Maritimo, Abu Dhabi 5, Dubai Police, XCAT Racing and Abu Dhabi 4. And the third and final race in Shanghai was won by Maritimo in a double for them, so 2 out of 3. Ahead of Abu Dhabi 5, Dubai Police, the HBI Racing Team in 4th, great result, and Abu Dhabi 4 in 5th. That's how it worked out, and that's how the points are now, with Dubai Police leading 143 points, 6 points ahead of Maritimo, Abu Dhabi 5 in third, 1 point behind, Abu Dhabi 4, sorry that was, and Abu Dhabi 5 in 4th at 113 points, 23 points behind third place.
Well, this is Dubai Police, Arif Al Nadir Benindi. They are almost finishing their lap. We'll see at the moment they are standing in 5th position, 234.4 on the bubble, as you said. Jumping like crazy in this right turn. Now full throttle to the finish line. We will see the time at the moment, 2:20, 2:21, 22. We'll see when they cross the line. Still some... No, this is not a fast lap for them.
Yeah, it seems to me that when they start... Oh, have a look at that air! That's what we want to see. Dubai Police getting airborne, heading towards that. They wanted to make up time. That jumping that happened through the last corner obviously slowed them up. Yeah. And they knew that, so they came down here extra quick and almost sent it up into the air.
Actually, it was 35.5, so my mistake. I said, no, not such a fast lap, but just 1 second behind their best time, but still, yeah, they need to improve if they don't want to risk to get out of the Q2.
Yeah, interesting how that wasn't enough to move them up. It was, in fact, 0.4 of a second too slow to get them up into 4th. So they need to find a considerable amount of time to feel safe in that top 3, really.
Yeah.
You know, because no one likes sitting in 4th and 5th because anything can happen.
At the moment in 6th is still 96 HPI Racing Team with 237.4, so 3 seconds to the 5th spot. If they want to get into Q2, they have to find at least 3 seconds. Then Victory Team, okay, they have a wild card, so they won't be eligible for any points, but in 7th position, they need to find the confidence after 2 years of absence, while Abu Dhabi 5 runs on 232.799. Their best time was 232.781, so just 100th of a second slower than themselves. Amazing, yeah, a photocopy.
Well, you know they're trying hard to break into that top spot, don't you, when that happens? But that basically shows that they're at the peak of their speed. They need to do something, make some change perhaps, because the 2.2 second gap to Maritimo is too much. Exactly. I don't know if you can make that up on the course by taking corners a little differently. I'm not sure.
Especially when you score 2 almost identical times, it could be that you are leveled on top of your performance, so you need to change something.
But they're in a good position in 2nd at the moment. I'd be pretty happy with that heading into qualifying. It's not about being P1 in this. I mean, it's always a good thing. Yeah. But this isn't the final pole position, isn't it? It's when the top 5. This will determine by the end of this session as we watch 222 Offshore do some low-level flying here. The Italian-Australian entry, Giovanni Capitella, and Darren Nicholson out of Newcastle in New South Wales, Australia. How was that for a bit of flying for you? They're loving it, eh? Check this out. This is what we like to see. A cross start finish now. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, there was the launch lap, so now we will see a fast lap for them. They are in 4th position now, 234.0. 230.9 is still the best from Maritimo, and 234.4 is the 5th. We'll see if they can improve. While at the moment they are one of the few boats on the course, it means that most of the others are back to change propellers. So we will see a second part of the Q1, still 31 minutes to go to the end of Q1. We will see different times and different handling of the boats because they will change propellers. They can even change the distribution of the weight if they have some ballast on board. They can't add weight, they can't remove weight from the boats, but if they want to change the setup, they can move some ballast from the fore to the back of the boat. So we will see. My opinion is that considering that there is no wind, yesterday was windy, so it was rougher. Today it's like a bit of swell, but the wind is over, so it will get calmer and calmer, the water. So they could even go faster in the second part of this quali.
I have no doubt. Have a look at Carpetella and Nicholson. The 222 offshore entry, going around the buoys, bouncing into the air, really controlling that, doing very, very well indeed. You can see how much vibration the engines, really good shots we have here, and just those engine mounts, just how much of a pounding they're taking. And this is nothing compared to yesterday. Yesterday was truly up there, and in fact, back on Wednesday was even stronger, wasn't it? In that practice session, that open session. So.
And these vibrations that you mentioned could also be the reason why board number 22 lost one engine. The mount probably broken, and they lost it. This was Abu Dhabi 5, 3 minutes at 0-0, so it's another launch lap, or maybe they made some changes and they are testing if they work or not. While 222 offshore, still on the screen, they are into the 2 minutes and 2 and 3 and 4 and counting. This is the last turn around buoy Echo and Echo 1, and then full throttle to the finish line. Yeah, it's now the end turn, the full throttle, trim up.
Oh, some more air, going really hard at it. That's 4 times out of the water. 222 offshore, let's see how they can improve. They're currently 4th, 234.010 is their time to beat. Sprinting towards the start-finish line now. Looking nice and stable.
237.9.
No.
No, not even improved on their time, which was 234.0. Yeah, so yeah. We've seen in front of us just now passing Alfredo Mato on his bicycle. So of course the session is over. He's been towed to the shore earlier. It's a pity we couldn't stop him because he's busy now. He has to solve. He has some paper in his hand. Yeah,
does not look happy
at
all.
Of course,
but he's going to pinpoint the location of where the engine is here somewhere.
Exactly.
You know, I shouldn't laugh about it, but it's just one of those crazy things.
Of course. But still, if they can find it, it's good. Of course, you have to fix it. You have to unmount all the parts to wash them with the fuel in order to take all the salt away, and then to remount and test. But still, it's better than losing for good the engine and get a new one.
So it's a 6-turn race lap here for 3.33 nautical miles. The long laps, there'll be 2 of those compulsory in each of the races, one today at 3 o'clock local time, GMT +4, and one tomorrow, of course, at 3 o'clock local time. That forms a 3.94 nautical mile lap with an extra 2 turns involved, or 3 I should say, in that. So the total race distance for later this afternoon will be a start lap, 14 race laps, Abu Dhabi 5 going hard, 2 long laps as well for 57.89 nautical miles of racing. 70% of the race distance will be the start lap plus 10 race laps plus 1 long lap.
This could be a very good time for Abu Dhabi 5. Let's see. I have this feeling they are finishing now across the line. 232.09. Okay, they improved on themselves by some tenths of a second. Still 1.1 seconds to go for pole position, for the the provisional pole position.
And notice we haven't seen Maritimo back out because there's really no need. But have a look at that gap. Abu Dhabi 5 throwing everything at it. So is Abu Dhabi 4, and they're still over 1.2 seconds away from that time. But again, they're solidly in the top 5. So there's no reason to really panic from their end, but you can see how hard they're trying to get that P1 stop. You can never ask a race driver to not go faster. They'll always do it. Whether they're on the water or on the road, it doesn't matter. So they're really going hard at it. So the 2 Abu Dhabi boats shows you how wonderfully prepared they are when Abu Dhabi 5's 232.0 and Abu Dhabi 4's 232.9. Nothing in it. 222 offshore is 4th. Dubai Police is still 5th, 234.451. HPI Racing 6th from the Victory team in 7th, New Star Racing in 8th, 9th Videx, 10th Kuwait, 11th Consul Brokers, and Dimitri in 12th. Dimitri being raced by Roberto Lopiano and Maurizio Carando at this event. The Dubai Grand Prix for the UIM XCAT World Championship, our 3rd and final round. Welcome to you wherever you are watching our streaming from around the world. And if you're here in the Dubai region or the UAE region, come on down and enjoy the action today and tomorrow.
I was watching 222 offshore. They just finished the line 235.2. It was 234 point something their earlier time. So also the performance seems to be quite leveled for them. If they don't change, there's still 26 minutes to go. If they don't change something, that could be it. Still, they are into top 5, so we will see if they get into Q2, and we will see later. But it seems to be leveled. As you noticed, Paul, Maritimo scored a 230.9 their first timed lap. They are confident that it's enough to get into Q2, and I'm sure that it is. So they went back to the pits. They said, okay, this is the right setup for the day, for pole position at least. So yeah, still it will be a bit calmer going on, also because Q2 will be in like 45 minutes from now. So there will be less waves. But 230.9 is a good time. Yeah, so the setup probably can stay that.
We were disappointed that they and a lot of the other championship fighting teams did not go out yesterday, but you can see the intelligence of that decision now, if you like, because what is the point if they know it's going to be calm today and they know they have a good boat in the calm weather, and that is just incredible.
Yeah.
Like 230.932 straight out.
Although, needless to say, all the drivers enjoy rough conditions. You said yesterday they had fun. The point is, as today, when it really counts, the conditions are so different. Why risk the material, all the gear, all the boat, the engines, for nothing? Because yeah, so it's a pity. We wanted to have rough conditions today. That would have been great.
You never know what could happen, Emanuele. Dimitri on our screens now. We're just talking about them earlier. Dimitri currently 12th, so they need to find quite a bit of speed to move up. Roberto Lopiano, Maurizio Carando, the tallest driver in XCAT racing, 2 meters in height. This gentleman here.
It's been a challenge to fit him into the cockpit.
But he can really drive, and there he is on the right side there. You can see what he looks like, and Roberto Lopiano as well. Always with a big smile on his face. They're 2 very experienced racers. And here they are in their lime green Dimitri machine, which made its debut at Stresa this season. So one of the 4 Italian teams competing here.
We'll see at the moment the 248, yeah, it's 6 seconds to the penultimate, which is Consul Brokers with 242, so yeah, still a long way to go for them. Passing in front of us and on the screen very fast. The setup look really even and yeah, very even on the surface of the water. We'll see if they have enough speed to go a bit better than 248, which is their position at the moment, their time at the moment.
And they were second quickest in the second practice session yesterday, 3:14.679 on very rough conditions, but second fastest out there. And Maurizio actually came to speak to us through the commentary booth. He was all excited, happy about the whole thing, so great to see. But he's the 2008 European Group P S2 title winner, the 2009 Italian Offshore Class 3 2-litre champion, the 2011 Italian Offshore Class 3000 champion and European Offshore Class 3C champion as well, and the 2017 European Class 1 Offshore champion.
Ooh, second time, it's not on the screen, but Abu Dhabi 4 was having a lap time. And it's 2:31.1. Wow, getting close to Maritimo. This is 0.2 of a second.
Yeah.
And getting ahead of Abu Dhabi 5, of their sibling team of Abu Dhabi 5. So Abu Dhabi 4 fighting for the championship, actually in 3rd spot in the championship. It's now the 2nd best time in pole position, just 0.2 of a second to Maritimo. So Tom Berricotter and Roscoe Willerton will be a bit concerned now. They are sitting maybe comfortably in the dry pits, but looking at Abu Dhabi 4, wow, they're getting close.
Big effort. I didn't think they'd make up that much ground. That's great for Sean Torrente and Faleh Al-Mansouri. And let's not forget they are our defending XCAT world champions. They know what they're doing. So many titles between these 2 drivers. And of course, Sean being our only American driver in the field as well. Yeah. So great to see him there. But the Formula 1 World Champion runner-up in both 2013 and 2016 and won the 2018 Formula 1 World Championship in powerboat racing.
Really funny guy.
Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. A lot of fun. You know you're going to have fun when Sean Torrente is around. And one of the things I'll never forget was at Stresa and the ping pong competition. All the drivers took part in this ping pong competition. It was just a bit of fun. Well, Sean straight away goes straight up to the referee and says, "What do you want? What can I give you? Want some tickets? Want some money? What do you need?" it was great. And then during the games, trying to distract the others and getting away, it just like a cheeky boy, you know, incredible stuff.
You know, he is like an engineer, aviation engineer, and he pilots his own plane. Yeah, amazing guy.
Very, very clever guy. One of these geniuses that whatever he does to absolute perfection. And his throttleman, Faleh Al-Mansouri, probably the opposite. Lovely guy, but extremely quiet, extremely introverted, ultimate professional. And opening round winners at Stresa this year. And what did they do to celebrate it, Emanuele? They jumped straight into the lake. That's what they did. You almost went in as well. Poor old Emanuele goes to interview him. He almost ends up in the drink as well. So but that was quite funny. And the heat, it was very, very hot, wasn't it? And, they'd had their win and they were just so happy. And one of them jumped in. Next thing, well, of course, Sean did. And then, of course, Faleh followed him. And then the crew chief did. And Emanuele almost tried to interview them. So it was a lot of fun over at Lago Maggiore. And for the Italian fans watching from Italy, we miss you. It was a great opening round. And we look so much forward to coming back. Grazie.
Sì, grazie, infatti. Ciao a tutti, è stato veramente un bellissimo weekend e non è stato il primo e non sarà l'ultimo a Stresa. Sempre una bellissima esperienza.
Incredible. The global birthplace of powerboat racing. The Lago Maggiore, in that Great Lakes region of Italy, and strongly urge you to take a look at our calendar once it's released. It's going to be very exciting, and perhaps make the visit to Lago Maggiore in Stresa. You won't regret it. It's incredible. New Star Racing out of Russia on our screens now, really hammering it hard in their XCAT. Beautifully presented boat. This one up, there you go. Boat number 9 and down as Victory crosses the start finish. They haven't gone quicker. They're currently 7th. At the moment, New Star Racing are in 8th. They're 2 minutes 40.497 is their best lap as they go airborne. Again, it's always around that final turn 6.
Yeah.
And then the flat out run to the straight, long as you mentioned, almost at 1 nautical mile. So plenty of room for speed. 800 horsepower behind each of these XCATs.
This was the warm-up lap for them, so we will see the next lap. They're pushing really hard, as you can see from the nose, lifting so much.
So powered by 2 Mercury Verado race offshore engines designed exclusively for the UIM XCAT World Championship. 400 horsepower each, so 800 horsepower per XCAT, 12 XCAT field, almost 10,000 horsepower will be roaring to life at 3 p.m. today, GMT +4, for the opening race of the XCAT, the UIM XCAT Dubai Grand Prix for 2019. Make sure you're with us then. Rosario and Giuseppe Schiano di Colla just finished the start finish.
They improved 1 second, still in 6th place. It was 2:37, 2:36 now. So get in there. They still have 18 minutes if they want to find the last 2 seconds to get into Q2.
And that's that's the depressing thing. They've found that time, but they've still got to find 2 seconds to break into the top 5. But keep trying, guys. I've been so impressed by these two, how they handle themselves, how they run the team. They're young guys, they're brothers, and considering Giuseppe came out of motocross racing as well and then made his way into powerboats, whereas Rosario was straight into the powerboat racing and following his dad's footsteps. But this season, the improvement between those two HPI Performance Italia racing drivers has been truly extraordinary.
There you've seen Dimitri crossing the line, 241.9. Also the previous lap was 241.9 compared to the 248 of their first lap, so they improved a lot, 7 seconds, but it's not enough to get them up from 11th position at the moment. While Consul Brokers, it's 242.0, is the 12th and last in the grid. They're not in the water. Maybe they're changing propellers and we will see them in the last minutes. Also, as we said, the conditions are getting calmer and calmer, so I'm sure that at least in Q2 we will see faster times.
So Dmitry Vandishev and Mikhail Kitashev, the throttleman and your pilot here on New Star Racing out of Russia. They're just 1 point behind the Blue Roo score, currently 8th in the championship, so they will move up if they get some points here. And 3 points ahead of Sweetcat as well, who are not competing, so they're in a position to really move up. But they were 8th in the championship last season. They're currently placed 8th as well. And they were 4th in the Fajero Challenge Trophy event held in March this year, which was an XCAT event, but it didn't count towards the championship. Currently ranked 9th in the pole position standings for the season so far. And they've shown some flashes of brilliance, haven't they? Particularly at Shanghai, where they performed very, very well indeed.
Big improvement for New Star Racing, 3 seconds better than their previous time, 239.0, 7th spot for them. They're all going faster now.
Right on cue. Well done to the Russian team, New Star Racing. 4th place finish in Shanghai in the opening race, and they qualified within the top 10 as well. made their XCAT debut back in 2016.
So at the moment, still number 9 on the course. Number 20 should be getting closer if they're not slowed down. And number 3 get back now. The launch lap is this you've seen on the screen, crossing the line. Kuwait 17. They're all getting back in because of the water conditions. They changed the propellers. Maybe they put faster propellers because of the conditions. And we will see. I think who goes in the water now will improve at least on their personal times. Then we will see if they can get into Q2.
Well, they're currently 5th Dubai Police. Now you're about to see why they're the most successful duo in recent powerboating history. Arif Al-Safain and Nadir bin Hindi. These guys, when they've got the mind on and the job to get done, tend to always get it done. And they're facing a real challenge here for Maritimo to get that pole position. That last pole position of the 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship season. And they're currently 3rd in the pole position title standings, 11 points behind Maritimo.
And it's 2 seconds off for Dimitri in the last lap to 39. So they're really doing better and better and better by the minute. So we will see. Yeah, Dubai Police is in 5th spot, 234. But I'm sure they will be bad. They will go faster than this because now the conditions allow to go as fast as they can.
15 world titles between these drivers. Dubai Police, boat number 3, 234.451 is their best lap time so far. Places them 5th. It's a 2-second gap down to 6th with HBI Racing doing a great job there, just outside the top 5 where they all want to be. Abu Dhabi 5 goes past us right now. No improvement on that lap. They remain in 3rd. The time to beat is 2:30.932. Can the Dubai Police duo do it here at home? In front of their home crowd, home fans, sponsors, dignitaries, of course the royal family here as well.
It's 14 minutes exactly now, 14.00 minutes to the end of the session, and it's 5 boats on the course, trying to do their best. Number 9, 238 point. Okay, so they don't improve. Number 3 jumping. That's the turn where they jump the most. Maybe it's the direction of the waves in that part.
Turn 6 propellers right out into the air as well. Look at it. Look at the nose fly up. Bin Hindi and Al Safain fly out to the start finish line at the moment. Let's see what they can do with their lap time.
Wow, big air for them. And 232.8, so still 4th spot. They improved some, but not enough to go to do better.
They improved 1 position. They were in 5th. They're up into 4th
now.
Yeah. So 222 offshore into 5th now. They're on the bubble now. Capitella and Nicholson, meaning that whether they get wiped out of the top 5, they get to fight for pole position. That's what we mean by sitting on that bubble in 5th. And that's 222 offshore now. Dubai Police up into 4th, 232.826. So they're 0.8 of a second behind Abu Dhabi 5 in 3rd.
Meanwhile, another improvement of 2 seconds for Kuwait, 241 and now 239. So they're going faster and faster, but still stuck in the second part of the grid.
The team managers we're looking at now and race engineers and so forth. That's in the building that we're in, commentating, the yellow container you can see. But on the side of here is all the team managers for each of the teams having a conversation. Alfredo Amato is wearing the glasses and wearing the race suits. You can see with 22 on the side. His boat XCAT having lost an engine, sadly. Look at the air we're getting here from Abu Dhabi 5. Rashid Altaya, Majid Al-Mansouri pushing hard. Not giving up at all with 12 minutes and 10 seconds to go. What a beautiful looking XCAT this is at full flight. And I say flight because they spend a lot of the time out in the air, don't they? Yeah. Here at the wonderful Sunset Beach in Dubai for the final round of the XCAT World Championship for 2019.
On the line now, 231.2. They improved, but still 3rd. They're getting closer and closer. 0.3 of a second among the top 3.
The Abu Dhabi, Dubai Police have to find 1.6 seconds to take 3rd. Now remember, 4th, fourth is not something you'd say, yeah, you're comfortable, but with 10 laps to go, they're in a lot better position than sitting in 5th, that's for sure. Now, even for 222 offshore to HBI Racing, there is a clear 2.5 seconds there as well, so they can feel fairly comfortable. unless HBI come out and do some magic with 10 minutes to go. Kuwait's out there as well. They're still in 10th. So let's give you the order. Maritimo, 230.932 ahead of Abu Dhabi 4, who are just 231.148. Abu Dhabi 5 in 3rd. Dubai Police 4th. So it's 231.204 for Abu Dhabi 5, 232.826 for Dubai Police. Then 222 offshore, 234.0. So 3 seconds behind Dubai Police in 5th. HBI Racing Team in 6th. New Star Racing Team 7th. Victory Team, Dimitri, Kuwait round off the top 10 ahead of Videx and Consul Brokers.
And it's another second off for Dubai Police, but still in 4th, 231 also for them. So they're getting closer and closer. Kuwait just passed to 37, so they improved. Yeah, 7th position. Good time, but not enough.
Significant from 10th to
Yeah.
7th, so good job.
Yeah, the conditions are really getting better. I would go in the water absolutely if I were a driver. Now it's the time. It's the time if you want to have your chance for Q2, especially on both 96, Rosario and Giuseppe Schiano. They are in 6th spot, 236. But their best time, this 236, has been scored much earlier in the session.
Yep.
So if they have the chance, there's exactly 10 minutes now to the checker flag for the first session. They have to go because they are the ones I would bet on just to get into Q2.
Yeah, it's interesting too when they're all at the pontoon and needing work done. Everyone has to go in turns in order that you're there for the crane to lift and for work to be done. So it can take some time, and that's hence why the session was extended for them today compared to the normal 45 minutes to 75 minutes. So we look at Dubai Police on our screens now. Wonderful scenery behind the ships out there in the Sunset Beach Bay area here, and some of the buildings around us. Magnificent blue water. Fantastic location for the final round, the 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship. The Dubai Grand Prix, brought to you by our hosts, the Dubai International Marine Club, and of course the UIM. So let's see, Abu Dhabi 5 races by us now with 8 minutes to go. They don't improve. They're still 3rd, 231.204. New Star Racing this time around. No improvement from them. They're still in 8th, 238.149. Their best. Dubai Police on your screen now. They are pushing hard as ever. Can they move up from 4th? 231.463 is the time they're trying to beat. But the top time is 230.932. Let's see what they can do. 232.541 on that occasion for Al Safain and Bin Henti.
I was trying to get some info from the radio because I've seen Giuseppe Schiano running in front of us.
And he's on screen as well.
Yeah, so they will not go in the water. I mean, it's late. It's 7 minutes now.
Yeah. Look, great effort to almost break into that top 5, but starting out at 6th is not the end of the world.
No, yeah, that's good.
So they'll be in that second
gate.
gate.
The top 4 will go into the first gate at the start line, the start buoy of the race, then another 4 and another 4.
So just to let you know who you're looking at there, that's Giuseppe Schiano di Colla and his father, Antonio Schiano di Colla, there on behind with the headphones on. And Giuseppe there, one of the drivers, taking a look at some of the times, and they should be very proud of their effort for their last qualifying session for the 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship season. So we look at Dimitri now, Lopiano and Carando. Boat number 20, just pushing it hard.
They improved by half a second. And they moved up from 10 to 9.
Yeah, great top 10 effort for Roberto and Maurizio in that boat number 20, and we only have 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. It's gone quick.
It's gone quick,
75-minute session, yeah.
Still in the water is boat number 3, Dubai Police, number 5, Abu Dhabi 5, then New Star Racing, Kuwait, Dimitri, and Victory. While Giuseppe Schiano just walked past,
He must have heard you, he quickly turned around, but then he kept going. But Interesting point to make. We've seen this before from Dubai Police, haven't we? Where even though they're in a pretty good position, they're 3 seconds clear of 222 offshore, they will still go out there to get P1. They will do it till that clock hits zero, won't they? They will try and try and try. And that's what makes Arif Al-Safan and Nadir bin Hendi the multiple world champions that they are.
Yeah, they're also so good. Yeah, and in the start procedure of the race, in the first turn, yeah.
So they're currently ranked third in the 2019 pole position rankings for the XCAT World Championship. Last year, they were first in the pole position ranking championship, 131 points from 3 pole positions, and they were second in the Fajero Challenge Trophy event as well. But their qualifying form has not been as strong as past seasons, currently in third, but of course, these competitors never give up, and they won in Shanghai as a little, reminder to everyone that they're still one of the best in the business.
Oh yeah, and also the feeling during the race. I mean, they have the sense of the whole race, not just the fast lap. So yeah, that's why they can manage also the strategy with the team manager, the radio man for the long laps, and so on.
Al-Adidi and Al-Ali on your screens now for the Victory Team, getting some great air in that brand new Victory Team XCAT, making its debut here at the Dubai Grand Prix. Another home team to support. Have a look at that form. Nice.
For the 241, yeah.
Just looks so stable coming across the finish compared to some of the others that we've seen so far. Now only 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this qualifying session for the XCAT Dubai Grand Prix Pole Position Award. We see the team.
He's on the right is Mohamed Al-Marri, one of the managers of the Victory Team. Great guy. He's been racing for many years with Arif Al-Safan and Nadir bin Hendi. They split now. The other two are Dubai Police, and he's still in Victory. But he's a world champion as well in Class 1. He's been racing even in XCAT. He is very nice guy. We all love him, and it's good to see him back.
It sure is. We're so glad this team is back. They were just legendary in this sport, weren't they? And particularly when you think of XCAT, you think of the Victory Team. And so it was quite different when they went around. You had so many boats out there. But they're back. And they're fast. Dubai Police this time around.
Launch lap for them because it's 4 minutes 27, so maybe they stopped in the middle of the course to check something in the engine, the electronics,
I would have thought
the
this
radio.
would have been a faster one. But
Maybe in the next one. Oh, and we're getting close to the finish because 3 minutes 40 to go.
It's one of the, that's Jeff from Maritimo.
Yeah.
One of the team engineers. I don't know why he's looking so concerned.
No, he's probably just bored.
Let's hope so.
Well, the Abu Dhabi guys. Yeah.
And Tom Barry-Cotter's mother.
Okay.
Is to the right of our screens.
Okay.
Just for the moment, her name escapes me, but I'm sorry. But Mrs. Barry-Cotter.
Okay.
Welcome to Dubai.
Bill Barry-Cotter was the father to Tom.
That's right.
He's the builder, Riviera Yachts first, then Maritimo Yachts, and a lot of fast boats.
New star trying to take off there. Luckily,
37.904 is their fastest time at the moment, but it's still 8.
Yeah, it looks spectacular, even past the start finish, just getting some air. And that can happen when you're backing it off a little, can't it? Like to get air, like you're crossing the start finish as quick as you can. You then try to back off a bit. You can get air under the front of the boat, or it works the other way around.
No, it's the other way because of the propeller push. Like the pull of the propeller. If you slow down, it should put the nose. Drags you down.
Sebastiano Pelecchia on our screens now, the sporting director of the UIM XCAT World Championship, talking to one of the Dubai police crew, and with him are the UIM officials, keeping an eye on everything for us. Union Internationale Motonautique, who are not only the world governing body of international marine sports, they're also the promoter of the XCAT World Championship, which is great. Quite a unique thing when you think about it. But it's good because they're taking control and assisting the sport to continue and grow. Dubai Police almost get it all wrong.
Yeah, and almost miss. Oh, they hit the buoy.
Then they've hit a buoy as well. This is not good. They're still pushing very, very hard. They almost flipped it. Incredible.
And it's just pole position. I mean, they're not racing for a win.
Wow, that was scary stuff.
Amazing.
It's rare you see it dancing on each sponsor load. They're still pushing as hard as ever. having hit that buoy.
We see if they lost some seconds, of course, in that change
Top
of the-
spot!
Wow.
The police into provisional pole position, 2:30.44 Unbelievable stuff with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go, Emanuele. And you saw that all look like it was going so wrong.
Yeah, they could have been even faster. They lost at least 1.52 seconds with that mistake.
Wow, what were they holding back on? Unbelievable stuff. So Maritimo moves into second, 2:30.932. Thank you, Aline. And in third, Abu Dhabi 4, 2:31.148. Sorry, I lost a bit of
Wow.
control there because I was expecting it not to be
Yeah,
maybe a little better, but not
No, but
that.
everything happened in like
good.
10 seconds. They made a big mistake. They controlled the boat, they hit the buoy, and they scored the provisional pole position. And you know what? They hit the buoy, but according to the new rules we discussed in the meeting, the driver's briefing, if you hit the buoy from the correct side like they did, and if you don't dislodge it, you don't destroy it, you are not sanctioned with anything because it's allowed. So they won't take them away from this pole position because they hit the buoy, but from the right side they didn't destroy it.
I scared the production team because our production manager came in and had quite a bit of a fright there. But guys, you adjust the levels because it's only going to get better when we have the pole position run now.
The whole time in tower rumbled.
That's how it's done, boys. And what do we say? They never give up, do they?
Yeah.
Never, ever give up. We saw there was a minute and a half to go. We saw it all go wrong. Well, almost all go wrong. I'm thinking they can't keep these throttles flat out the way they're going. They did.
Yeah.
And pushed and pushed and pushed. And as you say, had that corner gone a little better, that turn 6, who knows what lap time we may have been looking at, a 2:29 or even a late 2:28.
So the last boats, I was checking because it's end of the time for Q1. So the last boats on the course still have to take their last lap. This is Dimitri on the screen, number 20. I think they don't have a time running now, so probably it's end of the session now. Yeah, exactly. There's number 33 still in their lap. Number 3, no, because they stopped. And no, I think it's over. It's over. Q1, it's over like this. So it's Dubai Police, Maritimo, Abu Dhabi 4, and Abu Dhabi 5, and 222 Offshore get into the top 5.
Great to see them in there with a shot at getting pole position because you never know what can happen. It's one warm-up lap, 2 time laps. That's it for the top 5 competitors. So you never know if you get one of those laps wrong, whether you're Dubai Police or whoever you may be. 222 Offshore have a shot at having a good front top of field start, let's say. But that was just unbelievably timed and incredible precision. You know, we used to see it in Formula One a lot, you know, in the motor racing, where that last moment thing, and I can only imagine how hard it is on the water with a surface that's changing all the time to then time it, to go to the end and say, right, this lap we're going to nail it. And despite things looking like they were going wrong, they still managed to do it. That was just so exciting. That's what XCAT Racing is all about, folks. And if you enjoyed that, stay with us. It's only a short break. Then we'll run the top 5 to find out who will end up on pole out of Dubai Police, Maritimo, Abu Dhabi 4, Abu Dhabi 5, and 222 Offshore. But we do know now who will be starting out of the second gate and third gates. So starting out at 6, 3 o'clock this afternoon here in Dubai. So we look at the PaceCat taking some VIPs for a run around the track. That's like our safety car, if you like, our starting car in XCAT Racing, the PaceCat, and that's got
still Victory built, still powered by Mercury engines. Now taking some VIPs. We will have some minus break in order to restart all the timing, and for the top 5 to discuss among them if they have better solutions to go even faster. And the conditions of the water are definitely better. There's no waves anymore, so we will see what happens in Q2. Stay tuned because we are here, of course, and I think we are playing, highlights from this first 2 days.
So yeah, the first 2 days were a lot windier. If you look at the flags in the shots, you'll see just how much wind was really blowing, but this beautiful setup too here at Sunset Beach, where we are here for this final XCAT round of the season, the Dubai Grand Prix, and now you'll see some of the top that was out there. And Emanuele there taking a walk.
You've seen free practice now, some boats already out. The sea is quite rough for this kind of boats, this kind of racing. The sea is quite rough. We've seen some jumps this morning in the first session, and today we're seeing now. This was Victory Team. They came back for this very race. Victory Team number 33 with Naisal Ali Salem Aladidi. They are world champions in 2017 and they are back just for this race.
The IMC and the UIM has a very long history of organizing particularly this event in Dubai. It's always a pleasure to join hands together and start the mutual interest in this category again, and it's always a pleasure to have the whole group from UIM available with us here in Dubai. We see the competition on the whole championship between 5 to 4 boats. It's always interesting to see Victory Team coming and joining the team back. Offshore power boating is always very far from the shore. But today at this event, at this venue, we brought the event to the spectators. So we are joining hand to hand with the spectator on the beach on this beautiful venue over here in Dubai.
Race control center.
I don't know, why? What?
And welcome back to Dubai for this grand final round of the UIM XCAT World Championship for 2019. Paul Marinelli with you, and joining me, Emanuele Ferraris Di Celle, the media officer for the XCAT World Championship. This is now the top 5 shootout for pole position. Emanuele, this is going to be good. Boat 10 is out first, our 5th fastest qualifier. So Darren Nicholson and Giovanni Carpitella and the Italian and Australian dual nationality entered XCAT team. Let's see what they can do.
Let's see what they can do. They started, they had the warm-up lap. They are in the first timed lap. They have 2 consecutive laps to go. And we will see what's the faster of the 2. Then after them, it's over for them. They will be called back to the wet pits. Then 4th boat will go out, then 3rd, then 2nd, then 1st. Just warm-up lap, 2 consecutive laps, that's it, and we will see who's the fastest.
And they're pushing so hard, getting a lot of air around turn 6 every single time. That seems to be the problem area, to compromise between speed and getting that corner as smooth as possible. 222 offshore, looking magnificent here in the Dubai sun at Sunset Beach.
The water went flatter and flatter. Now it's almost all the circuit is calm, except that corner that we just saw. As they cross the line for the first of the 2 laps, it's 2:33.4. This is the first benchmark, but we can tell you that in the first session of pole position, the fastest one was 2:30.4. So 3 seconds slower, it's not enough, especially because the conditions are getting better. The water is flat, so they have to go faster than this. They have another lap, number 10, we will see, and then it will be over for them.
They're currently 6th in the pole position title standings for the 2019 season. They're 3 points away from breaking into the top 5. That's HPI that's actually sitting in 5th, so they will make that into the 5 with the points they get out of this. But let's see if they can go even further. Capitella and Nicholson deserve a stronger starting position for the season that they've had. We know how good this driving combination is.
Yeah.
Both multiple champions in various disciplines, including XCAT.
This is the Bravo buoy that they just took, almost a hairpin left turn. Then they will have 2 yellow buoys, Charlie and Charlie 1. It's the only right turn of the circuit. You see they are getting now to the yellow buoys. And then another short straight, then some other turns, we will see. They are getting now to the left part of the race course, which is the, let's say, rougher, the less calm.
From turn 4 onwards, the Delta boys is when it starts to get a bit excited. But as you mentioned, a lot calmer than yesterday, which is not what Capitella and Nicholson would have wanted.
Absolutely, absolutely. They love rough water. They both love rough water. So for them, it's not the best condition. Still, they'll be able to get into top 5. We'll see. I'm sure that, I think that because of that part of the circuit is rougher, that's probably where it will be decided. The pole position will be decided, because it's easier to go flat out in all the other parts. Okay, you can decide something in the turns, but in this part, you see, all of a sudden they start to jump because the waves are going against them, and it's more exposed water. Look at these jumps. This can make the difference between a a pole position and the 5th spot.
But keeping those props pretty much in the water all the way through and pushing that 800 horsepower all the way down the straight. Now it's just throttles to the carbon fibre all the way through, keeping it as smooth as they can. So we wait for them to cross the finish line. Their second and final timed lap.
26, 27, 28, 9. We don't see the checker boys yet. 33.2, they improved by 0.2 of a second, so now this is the benchmark. I'm not confident that this could be the pole position. Anyway, 233.2 for them.
So competitor number 1 out of the 5 XCAT teams that will be battling it out for the final pole position of the UIM XCAT World Championship for 2019 right here in Dubai, the birthplace of extreme catamaran powerboat racing, Dubai. And for more than a decade, it developed into XCAT racing. It's the 8th season of the XCAT World Championship now. And our final round, the race taking place at 3 p.m. local time. That's GMT +4. So make sure you're with us. The conditions are absolutely perfect. And imagine the chop when you've got lots of competitors out in the field, and we're going to see quite a bit of rough water there as well as a result of that.
So as boat number 10 goes back to the pits, it should be now the turn of Abu Dhabi number 5, Rashid Altier, Majid Al Mansouri, as they were 4th in the first session of qualifying, going out for a warm-up lap and then 2 consecutive laps also for them.
And another look at the pole position session results before our top 5 shootout. On provisional pole, Dubai Police, 230.448. It's on the time to beat as we see Abu Dhabi 5 head out on their fast lap now.
As you can tell, 222 offshore did a 233.2 in this Q2, so they improved 0.8 of a second on their time. It's good, but yeah, we'll see. The others were much faster even earlier. We'll see now.
And Maritimo, who set their time very early of a 230.932, only half a second difference there, but they set that time very, very early in the session. So let's see what they can do when they come out a little later on. Abu Dhabi 4 were 3rd quickest. Abu Dhabi 5, who are on the course right now, were 4th fastest, and they were both 231.148 versus 231.204. Less than a hundredth of a second between the 2 Abu Dhabi competitors, Abu Dhabi team competitors. Another 2 local teams, 222 offshore out of 5th, 234.010, and as you mentioned, that's the way it is. Now starting out of 6th today will be HPI Racing. From 7th will be Kuwait. New Star Racing will start out of 9th, out of 8th, I'm sorry. Dimitri out of 9th, Victory Team out of 10th. Videx and Coastal Brokers will round off the field, and they'll be in the 2nd and 3rd gates. The first gate will be this top 5 competitors. Obviously the pole position holder will have the shortest run to the first turn, which will be turn 2, as the way that the start process has been done. Turn 2 will be the first turn, which is the sharp left hairpin you were talking about, anti-clockwise direction for this course.
While Abu Dhabi 5, you can see even in the back of this, no, it disappeared on the left of the screen. They are going to Delta Buoy, Delta and Delta 1. This is Roberto Lopiano from Dimitri Boat talking with the Schiano family, actually.
Yeah, they're all there.
3 of them, yeah.
Giuseppe, Rosario and Antonio.
And Antonio, yeah. While Abu Dhabi 5 is 1 minute 51, 52 and 53, so they are going for the second and last part of their first of the 2 laps. This is the rougher part, as you see from the images. The nose lifting so much. They will have the last turn and then full throttle. We will see.
Rashid Altaya, Majid Al Mansouri, the throttleman and pilot for this boat. Airborne they go. Once they got around turn 6, the same point every time. Now trying to stabilise the boat, get as much speed, as much balance as possible to the finish line. We can see their crew members standing right in front of us filming this lap. Look at them getting some air, just trying to go as hard as they possibly can. The first of their 2 timed laps for Abu Dhabi 5.
To 31.3. Yeah.
So up into P1, 231.3. Can they improve on this next lap?
He's already 2 seconds better than Carpitel and Nicholson on 222 offshore, 233.2, 231.3 for Abu Dhabi 5, but they still have 1 lap. They had 231.0 in the first session, So they didn't improve on the first session despite the better condition of the water. We'll see. Maybe they will be faster in this second and last lap.
Well, they'll need to be, because if they don't break into the 2:30 barrier, they're not going to give Maritimo any challenge, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they have to. Someone has to break into 2:30, because then if Maritimo makes an error, if something happens, they'll hold on to that pole. But
Especially because, as you said, that 2:30.9 from Maritimo was done in the first minutes of the morning. It was much rougher.
then they packed it up, went back, had a few donuts, had fun, a couple of Foster's beers, Australian beer. No beer. But went back, had a barbecue, had all that, and then heard me yell Dubai police and went, what? But this is what it's all about. If you want pole, you have to get on top in this top 5 shootout for the XCAT World Championship. Brought to you by the UIM and the Dubai International Marine Club here at Sunset Beach in Dubai. On a perfect day, 3 o'clock's our race time. GMT +4 for all of you streaming around the world. And we have a visit right now. We can get you on the mic.
Well, it's Abu Dhabi 5 in the last turns of the second and last lap. On the radio, boat number 4, Abu Dhabi 4, has been called out for their warm-up lap. So we will see. Now it's the time for Abu Dhabi 5 to do their best these last turns.
Was Maurizio Canando that came to visit us just then, popped his head through the window to the commentary booth, took a look at what we were doing, and then just walked away. So we didn't even get a chance to talk to him. But there you go. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Round turn 6 now. Have a look. Now this is the most stable I've seen so far. I might be talking too soon. As up they go into the air. That was beautifully done by Altea and Al Mansouri and Abu Dhabi 5. Really smooth around turn 6 that time.
Keep the propellers in the water, the boat even.
You tell
the
him,
surface.
You tell him. Keep those props in
Well,
there.
I speak from my chair, of course. And it is 2:31.5, even slower than the previous one. No good, no good.
So perhaps a more conservative approach at turn 6, which is why it didn't look so spectacular.
Yeah,
But sadly,
you noticed that, yeah.
Sadly, it wasn't faster, but a great result for Abu Dhabi 5, 2:31.346. A lot to be proud of. Maurizio Canando there, Roberto Lopiano.
And
Maurizio's on
Serafino
the left.
Barlesi also, with number 20 in his shoulders.
Yes.
He's the team owner, actually. Yeah.
Another legendary
Yeah.
powerboat racer of decades gone by.
He's been racing with the XCAT since last year.
Yeah, yeah.
But still loves it, still involved. Because,
So the team managers area is not as busy at the moment because there are only 5 teams taking part in this. But lots of talk between teams about the conditions out there. And of course, you know Giuseppe's Italian because he's using his hands so much.
What's wrong with it? I mean,
How do you keep an Italian quiet, Emanuele? Tie his hands behind his back.
tied.
I'll try that with you if you talk too much. No, all good. So Abu Dhabi 5 slows right up. So we await our third competitor now.
Abu Dhabi 4 is already on the course for their
Yep, their teammates.
This is the launch lap, and so the chrono starts now for Abu Dhabi 4, Sean Torrente and Fale Al Mansouri, 3, 4, 5 seconds and counting.
Now remember our defending UIM XCAT World Champions, Abu Dhabi 4. So third in the championship at the moment at 136 points, 1 point behind Maritimo from Australia. And Dubai Police who lead the championship 143 points after their fantastic round at Shanghai. So watching Abu Dhabi 4 on track now, our only American racer in the field, Sean Torrente, the 2019 World Circuit Endurance Champion as well. Winners of round 1 in Stresa. They were first in race 1 and race 2 after qualifying 3rd. Round 2 they finished 4th overall with a 2nd place, a 5th place and another 5th place after qualifying 4th in both qualifying sessions. They're currently ranked 4th in the pole position rankings for this season with 70 points, trailing Dubai Police by just 4. But it's Maritimo on top of the pole standings at the moment for the season, 10 points ahead of Abu Dhabi 5. Dubai Police in 3rd with 74 points, and all of those boats, aside from Abu Dhabi 5, are about to get out onto the field. So we watched Torrente and Al Mansouri now.
1:24.25 for them. They are in the top part of the course, going for the last turns, left turns, going to the rough part of the course. We will see them jumping on the screen, and we will see if they can do better than their siblings, their cousins of Abu Dhabi 5, 231.3 for them. We'll see.
And interesting to note, when you see these teams, particularly we've seen it in the first 2 rounds, they're actually supportive of each other, of who gets the best result. You don't see conflict, you actually see support at the podium cheering for them and everything like that. They're just a fantastic team, the Abu Dhabi team. Here we go, let's see, turn 6, getting sponsons, or the right side sponsored right up into the air, now the left, and airborne around 6, happens every time. Now flat out run to the finish, and their second time lap.
Gaining speed and gaining speed. Yeah, still some jumps, but now it's flatter, so flat out.
Whoa! You don't want to be doing that too often. Went right up.
230.862, so they are in provisional pole position. 231 for Abu Dhabi 5, 230.8, but it's not over because they still have another run.
Of course, it's their first time run. Sorry, I got that wrong. But they did break the 230. They needed to do that. They needed to get into that 230 barrier to form any sort of threat to Maritimo. 230.862 puts Abu Dhabi in provisional pole at the moment, ahead of Abu Dhabi 5, 231.346. 222 offshore remains in third, 233.202. Dare say with faster boats coming, 222 offshore's looking at a 5th place finish, start I should say, but you never know what could happen.
You never know, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we love it.
This will be another tricky part of the circuit because it's the only right turn. They are going like fast now in the top part of the course. They will have this Charlie and Charlie 1 yellow buoys, which means keep them on your starboard side, which is a right turn. You see they are now going. And we will see, It's wow, it's a matter of really 1 second maximum, I think, for pole position.
It sure is. Torrente and Mansouri, 2 of the most experienced in the business. Fantastic performers, defending champions. They're not giving up this season too. Currently 3rd in the championship. They've got a few points to find though to make it up into 1st. They've got some very, very strong competition. Race 1 will be very, very important today for this team. Coming up at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Dubai time. So here they go heading towards turns 5 and 6 now. There we go, beautiful. Very close to the buoy that time around too. Here we go, starting to turn and keep that front of that boat down.
Meanwhile, they call us for boat number 12 to get out, but this is the most important at the moment.
Here we go.
They are drifting and jumping.
Yeah, drifting all right. But yeah, again, that looked very, very smooth compared to what we've seen. So now, flat out propellers, you can actually see them out into the air.
I think that there was the best I've seen so far in that turn.
Yeah.
The behavior of the boat.
Very good. So 0.6, as we have an arm of a fan in front of the camera, 0.6 nautical mile to the finish line now. Here they come, you can hear them power past us.
230.1, they improved 0.7 of a second. Yeah, so better and better.
Almost broke into the 229s, almost by just over 1/10 of a second. Great effort there by Abu Dhabi 4, Sean Torrente and Faleh Al Mansouri.
Now just 2 boats left, Paul. It's Maritimo 12 and Dubai Police 3. You think we will break the 230? We'll go to 229?
I think you have to now because that's a 231. If it was a 235 or 6 or something, I'd be thinking you probably don't need to, but I think you have to now.
Yeah.
Now, remember, Maritimo went out and did that early, so we didn't see them go out and try and go quicker again. Who knows what they've got up their sleeve, but the same applies to Dubai Police, because to find all that time on that last lap, we know that they had something extra going as well.
Wow.
So, this is going to be great. But my prediction, 229.8.
Okay.
And yours?
I'm daring even a 228.
Yes.
I know it's really arrogant, but we'll see. Maritimo crossing the line, the launch lap, big jumper right on the checker buoys, and the chrono starts.
You know Tom Berry Cotter and Ross Wilderton are crazy when on their warm-up lap they've already got it almost airborne. Towards airtime lap. Incredible stuff. The Maritimo, I can't stress enough, the first ever Australian designed and built XCAT. And what a season. Debuted with pole position in Stresa, 2nd place in the first race, and 5th in the second race there. with 2 race wins, their debut race wins, race 2 and 3 at the Grand Prix of China in Shanghai back in November. After qualifying second for the 2 pole position, XCAT World Championship pole position fights that they had over in China as well. Second position in both of those. So what a debut for a brand new XCAT. So here
We've
they
seen
are.
them really relaxed this morning. We met them before
Yeah.
getting in the water. They were calm. They also showed it because after their first fast lap, they went back to the pits and they were talking, really calm. And we'll see now. The adrenaline is there, of course, it's pumping, but they keep their nerves really calm, and that could help.
So wonderfully presented boat there. And the black and white livery really does stand out, and you can see the height of the cockpit area and some of the design influences and changes that they've made to this XCAT to make it better for them in terms of more comfortable inside the cockpit, but also more stable in the event of a flip over or things like that.
I got a communication for some technical issues which have not been told, but boat number 12 has been given an extra lap. Maybe there's been some technical issues in this lap, which is supposed to be their first of the 2 time laps. So they talked to the team manager, who was talking to the drivers in the cockpit. So this is actually the launch lap for boat number 12.
Okay, there you go. Maritimo getting the props out of the water, but looking really stable out of 6. As I say that, it starts dancing from side to side. On its pole position run, the final qualifying session for the 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship season. So 0.68 nautical mile run down the straight to the start-finish line.
So the chrono actually starts now for them. 2 consecutive laps. We'll see what's the faster of the 2. We'll see. It could be an advantage to have an extra lap to get more confidence with the conditions of the water. With the boat, of course, they know perfectly their own boat. We'll see if this could give an advantage to have an extra lap.
I wonder what caused that, though. That's interesting. What
Probably
caused an
with the
extra lap?
telemetry.
It could have been a timing issue. That's something completely out of their control, and you can fully understand that. Yeah.
Still, it's good that straight away they've been told that, okay, you have an
Yep.
extra lap. It was immediate via radio.
Yeah. So Tom Barry Cotter, and Ross Willerton.
Ooh, drifting.
So both from the, I should say Tom Barry Cotter, born and raised in the Gold Coast in Australia, in Queensland. World level powerboating veteran across a number of championships, mainly offshore, of course, in Australia, and Class 1 racer in Australia as well. And Ross Willerton's the 2009 Australian Offshore Superboat champion as well, along with many other titles to his name, including the Supercat World Championship title in 2012 and multiple Australian offshore championships as well. So they were 3rd overall in Shanghai, 3rd overall also in Italy, in Stresa, on their debut at Lago Maggiore. And looking fine out there at the moment, pushing hard, because before they reach turn 5 and 6, they're already dancing from sponson to sponson, pushing as hard as they can.
It's a very fast boat, this Maritimo, really, definitely.
And considering we've only had 2 rounds, and they didn't compete at Fugero with this, and the non-championship event in March, the amount of development that's happened over such a short time has been truly extraordinary. Because you remember at Stresa, at times we saw it and we just thought, oh, we don't know, about this boat. But yeah, pushing it hard as he always does.
On that turn.
But not as spectacular as I thought it was going to be that time around. Whoa!
Since the chrono, it's 2:16, 17, 18 for them.
Oh,
We start to hear the roar of the engines from the shore as they approach the finish line for the first of the 2 time laps. We'll see.
228.724. Gee, I was way off from my 228 to 8 or 9 or whatever it was. Straight to the top for the 2 Australians in the Australian XCAT. Maritimo, position 1, 228.724. Just under 2 seconds ahead of Abu Dhabi 4's best in second place, 230.125. Abu Dhabi 5 in third, 231.346. And 222 offshore in fourth, 233.202.
You know what
Maybe they didn't get the extra lap.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that was their second, but we didn't get it timed.
You know,
lap.
I was hearing over the radio that they told many times to their team manager, "You have an extra lap."
Maybe
but
that.
maybe they did. They were so committed in doing their lap that they didn't hear the communication. But it's okay. Yeah, one lap, 2:28.
Well, they popped the 2:28 in their first
Like
go.
this morning.
You know,
Like
here I was thinking 2:28 was ambitious, or late 2:28. So have a look at that. So the challenge is out there for Dubai Police.
Yeah, it's all on them now. Arif Al-Zafain, Nadir Ben Hindi, they're already out for their warm-up lap, 2:28.7 to beat.
I'm kind of glad that happened, Emanuele, because the last thing we wanted was the other teams complaining that they had another opportunity. It's the first thought that went through my mind.
Yeah, totally.
Of what's going to happen afterwards, you know. So two things could have happened. Either they elected not to do the second lap, which I suppose you can do, or they didn't get the message, and good on them for not getting it, because that is a great time. 2:28.724. Can Arif Al-Zafain and Nadir Ben Hindi, two of the best in offshore powerboating racing history, and I mean that, not exaggerating, these are two of the most successful offshore powerboat races.
Totally, I would say the most successful. Yeah, there's
there you go.
Steve Curtis, there's just a few, but in this discipline, of course, they won all of the titles except last year for Abu Dhabi 4.
Unbelievable.
And they are good in any condition of the water.
Yeah.
It could be rough, it could be almost flat like this, it could be something in between, it could be different like today, calm here and rough there. They are good in any situation.
2:28, I still can't believe it. A 2-second gain in one lap. Or after a warm-up, of course, for one fast lap. So Dubai Police, they'll rise to the challenge. Arif Al-Zafain and Nadir Ben Hindi, have no doubt at all. Home team advantage. Let's see if there is a home team advantage.
Well, of course, they test a lot in these waters, but it's not a big difference. It's not like a racetrack. It's always the same turns.
Yes. Everything's changing all the time.
Yeah.
It's the challenges these guys face is just mind-blowing. I can't describe it enough, because the surface they're on is changing every single time, every corner, every lap. Yet they've got to try and find consistency and more speed. And that's what qualifying is all about.
Well, the Dubai Police number 3 boat is accelerating, passing in front of the public, so close. It's like really 10 meters from the shore. And the chrono starts for them. Amazing as they get into it. It's beautiful to see how close they pass from the public, from the shore.
Which is why I keep stressing that if you're in the Dubai area and you're watching our web stream, or if you're watching Dubai TV's live coverage, come on down to Sunset Beach, because you will love it. The view from here is just incredible, and you have so much access to other teams. The pit area is open, and also we should point out there's a competition there to remember the wonderful Luca.
Yeah, Luca Nicolini.
Luca Nicolini, who we
Yeah.
lost this year. And so what the UIM XCAT World Championship have done, have introduced this competition for the team that smiles the most to the public.
And one of the judges is Matteo, his brother, was with us in these days. He's been piloting the XCAT in the last days, and he will be one of the judges. And we decided all together with him, because Ciccio, his brother Luca, was always smiling. So rather than a normal morning, we decided something different. So the team who smiles the most, was the nicest and happiest and liveliest, will win this special Ciccio Nicolini trophy.
So if you notice everyone's smiling like weirdly at you, there is a reason, because there will be an award presented. But what a wonderful way to remember Luca.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, rather than doing some sad sort of thing, to be able to do something so happy. And I hope it's something they do every year, or every event even. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
To remember wonderful Luca.
Back to these guys, Arif and Nadir, 1 minute 34:35 in their lap. They are on the top part, going for the delta buoys, the right turns that lead to the only left part with rough water. This morning it was all chopped, but now it's really calm, no wind today, so yeah, it's a pity on a way, but we will see faster speed.
Looking good, looking smooth, looking fast. Remember, smooth is fast. Oh, airborne again, heading into turn 6. So pushing very, very hard. Al-Zafain and Ben Hindi. Around 6 they go. Nice and stable. Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful
Very
turn.
good turn, I must say.
Yeah, they got the trim perfect that time around,
amazing,
didn't they?
Amazing.
Gee,
that could be the
incredible
difference.
stuff.
That could be the difference.
That looks, as I point out, if it looks spectacular, it can generally be slower. These guys somehow proved me wrong in the last one in doing that in the qualifying session. Let's see their first time lap. 2:28's the time to beat. It's a
2:31.4. Yeah.
4:01 for fourth. So wow.
Wow.
So
yeah,
maybe that conservative
the turn
approach
looked really smooth. So maybe they lost speed. They lost some seconds in some other part of the circuit. Anyway, they still have one. We'll see. We'll see.
They've got another one to go, but that conservative approach does not seem to be working, and we saw how spectacular they were in the last lap of the open qualifying session. I think this time they're going to have to do that again.
You know, they are so professional that maybe they said, okay, let's use the first lap to try something. If it works, we stick to that and we'll try to push even further. If it doesn't work, we change again, because they work so fast in their minds.
Yeah.
And maybe they decided, okay, 2 laps, 2 different approaches, and we see what's better.
Airborne around the Delta boys there that time round. Here they
Going
go.
down with his
Look
front
at that.
shot. Wow.
Look at that. Oh, getting air, jumping. This is unbelievable. They're pushing so hard. The Dubai Police, the home team, the championship leaders.
As a turn right around the Charlie 1, then up to Delta and Delta 1. We'll see. I'm surprised, really. They looked so steady in that eco turns, but still 2:31. They have
There may have been
2.5 seconds.
something further out in the course that they hadn't got right, perhaps. But there you go. The front of the boat hitting in the water hard that time around. They're positioning themselves well for turns 5 and 6. This is where it'll make all the difference. Can they snatch the pole? The dying moments of our final UIM XCAT World Championship qualifying session for 2019. It's
150. The turn. Wow, so tense.
Let's see. Just waiting to see what's going to happen. The front again dips down a little. And up we go again. So this is turn 6 we're looking at now. Here we go. We're going to see some action this time around. Propellers out of the water, but still, look at that. Look how close to the buoy. Not much drifting that time around. Certainly more aggressive.
Yeah. It could work. A little more jumps before the turn, but I think they approached the turn in the best way. We'll see. 225, 26.
Whoa!
27. No.
Almost goes
they
all
lost
wrong.
The pole. They lost the pole there. Absolutely.
Almost went all wrong for them there.
Yeah.
Heading towards the straight.
Oh,
finish.
terrible. 235.
Oh,
what a pity.
That was a huge line. And also, the 2 times during the lap that we saw the nose of the boat dig in.
Yeah.
You know, so you
That
never want to see
slows
that.
you down so much. Yeah.
But you know what? Well done to Dubai Police. But let's congratulate the final pole position getters for the season. Is Maritimo on 2 minutes 28.724, who with that result win the 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship pole position title. Congratulations to
You know what, Paul? While we stay live,
and Ross Willerton.
Yeah, pardon, sorry, because I want to jump out of the booth and go to have an interview with the poleman while we are still live. Okay, so thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Emanuele Ferraris Di Celle, the media officer for the UIM XCAT World Championship, and fantastic co-commentator from Italy who's come all the way to Dubai to entertain us. Abu Dhabi 4 will start out of second today in our opening race at 3 p.m. local time. 2 minutes 30.125 for Abu Dhabi. Third will be Abu Dhabi 5, 2 minutes 31.346. Starting out of fourth, Dubai Police, 2:31.401 after a valiant effort during the dying moments of our open qualifying session. And starting out of fifth, 2:22 offshore, the Italian and Australian entry of Giovanni Capitella and Darren Nicholson, 2 minutes 33.202. So our next appointment is at 3 o'clock this afternoon, GMT +4, for the opening race of our grand final 2019 UIM XCAT World Championship Dubai Grand Prix, the grand final for our season. Coming your way, it's a start lap plus 14 race laps plus 2 compulsory long laps, total of 17 laps and 57.89 nautical miles of racing coming your way. Now tomorrow the same thing, we have a practice session, the third and final practice session at 10 in the morning for 1 hour, and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon will be the Grand Prix, the Dubai Grand Prix race 2 start for the UIM XCAT World Championship, same distance as I mentioned for today. So keep your eye on our streams and our social media, our YouTube channel and so forth, and be a part of the action. And if you are in the Dubai area, come and join us here at the wonderful Sunset Beach. We're located just behind the Sunset Mall. Come on down and enjoy yourselves and see some fantastic world-class offshore powerboat racing. A fantastic qualifying session there. Congratulations once again to Maritimo, Tom Barricotta and Ross Willerton to Abu Dhabi 4, Sean Torrente and Faleh Al Mansouri, who will start out of second in that first gate, of course. Abu Dhabi 5 will start out of third. Rashid Altaya, Majed Al Mansouri, and Dubai Police, of course, Arif Al Zafain and Nadir Bin Hindi out of fourth, and 222 offshore, Giovanni Capitella and Darren Nicholson. That's our top 5. Racing coming your way at 3 o'clock this afternoon, GMT +4. We'll see you then.
The canal or something. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we are live now while all the people are congratulating the two polemen, Tom Barricotta, Ross Willerton. Amazing. First of all, congratulations. 2:28.7. It's 1.4 seconds faster than the second.
Yeah, you know, we got a really good lap. We thought we could probably, there was a bit more in it. You know, we hooked a couple of times and caught a few big airs and didn't get the cleanest lap. So, but yeah, to come out there and be that strong, we're very happy. Ross did an awesome job, has done all season. So, but you know, that's only half the job done. We got the big one this afternoon and tomorrow now.
Question about the first session. You went out at the very beginning. It was rougher. You did immediately the fastest lap for almost all the session. It was the fastest lap. You were confident there was enough and you went back and relaxed?
Yeah, because we had a bit of clean water there, so we knew we had a fast lap time in us. But then with all the traffic and the other boats running around, it was just, we knew we were going to get in the top 5. So it was important to get in the top 5 and then do a really good lap.
You think that the setup of your boat is better for this condition, it will be calm today, or for the rougher condition of this morning?
Honestly, I think if it came up a little bit, I think it's probably more in our favour. If it where it is now is quite calm, but you saw the times really close up. I think when we're all out in free practice on Wednesday, and then when we were out early this morning when everyone was on the course at the same time, I think we were lapping a bit quicker compared. So if it comes up a little, which I think the wind will come up, but I think the swell will drop. So there might be a bit more chop, but a bit less swell. So we see. I think most of the wash out there is actually just boat wash from boats in the background. So that makes it a bit more random and a bit harder.
In any way, congratulations, because it's not the most important title of the weekend, but the first title is in your pockets. You are the pole position world champions this year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, guys, once again. Have a safe race today.
Poi si cade.